Where did all the coins go? Is there actually a shortage of coins? Or is this the beginning of just a cashless society? Those answers will be coming to you in just a moment, right after this. Hi, welcome to Financially Intact. Making money is easy, keeping it is the hard part. The channel dedicated to helping you keep your money in your pockets. If you like what we say and do here, please hit the subscribe and like buttons. So, where are all the coins? Is there really a coin shortage? The government also had that same question and they wanted to know. And so what did they do? In true government form, they set up a task force. As far as I know, they're still working on trying to find those answers. Heck, they could have saved themselves a whole lot of time and money if they would have just called me and asked me to produce this video a little bit sooner and then watched it. They'd be done by now. No, it's funny. The great economist Milton Friedman once said, if you put the federal government in charge of the Sahara Desert, in 5 years there'd be a shortage of sand. Kind of the way the government works. However, as interesting of a thought as that is, in this case, it is not the government. That is not our problem. I'm going to show you something now on the computer and you'll see why I say that and why that part is true. As you can see, I'm here on the United States Mint site. It's a good place to find some of this information that we're looking for. So down here it says, start by selecting a program. The program we want is circulating coins, because the mints make lots of other coins. So circulating coins, and then we're going to look at, first we're going to look at 2019. I want you to see what the numbers look like in 2019. So if we hit that and we hit submit, you will see that in 2019, altogether, now these are in millions, so they produced 7 billion pennies, a total of 11 billion coins overall. Okay, so that was 2019. Now let's change this to 2020. You're going to see there's not all that big of a difference. Now they did slow down for a couple months because they had to put things in place so that they could keep the workers safe and all of that. But on the average, they do about 1 billion coins per month, and they've been doing that for a long time now. So around March, April, May this year, they did a little less than 1 billion. But since then, now they're doing like 1.6 billion. So as you can see, you know, we're 9 months into the year. I'm not sure if this is counting September or August. I don't see it on here anywhere where it says that. But this time you can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so it's easier for you guys to see this. Okay, so we've already done 11 billion for this year and almost 6 billion in pennies. So we're not that far behind from last year. As a matter of fact, we're almost the same amount. Let me go back and show you that one more time for last year. So remember, we have 11 billion now total for 2020, and for last year total was 11.9 billion. So we're actually probably going to produce a little bit more this year than we did last year by the time they're done, because they're saying that they're going to keep producing at the 1.6 billion. So the production of coins is absolutely not the problem. So now the question becomes, if the government is producing 1 billion coins per month, and has been doing that for several years, and the average lifespan of a coin is about 30 years, where the heck are all the coins? And how could there possibly be a shortage? Here are some of the answers. Part of the coin supply comes from us putting the coins that we get back into circulation. So when we ask ourselves, how do we put these coins back into circulation? One of the main answers that's going to come up, of course, is in vending machines. So then we think, well, where do you see most vending machines? Where do we purchase from vending machines? And the answers, the two most obvious answers are, one, where we work. Lots of times there's vending machines in manufacturing plants or office buildings and wherever we work. And number two is in hotels. When we're traveling, there's always vending machines, and we use them quite frequently. Well, with COVID-19, of course, those two things came to a screeching halt. For a few months there, nobody was buying from vending machines because nobody was at work. And then also nobody was traveling, and that's still a big thing. I think travel's only like 40% of what it was before COVID-19. And so there's two major sources of where we were putting our coins back into circulation through the vending machines that we're not currently doing. And so that's become part of the problem. On top of that, many people started paying when they go to a convenience store or a fast food place. They start paying with debit cards and credit cards because they wanted the cashless, touchless type payment systems. They didn't want to be handing money back and forth. And so once again, now we're not putting that money back in. Up until COVID-19, about a third of all transactions are still cash transactions. It's less than that now, although I think it's coming back, but that's a third. That's a lot of transactions, and that's a lot of coins that were still flowing in and out of the system. Right now, a lot of them flowed out, but we haven't put them back in, and so that's what actually has created the so-called shortage, which, as I said, it's not really a shortage. It's not that we don't have the coins. It's that they're just not in the right place at the right time. So now we have a whole lot of coins at home, in our cars, all over the place, and we'll get back to that in a minute. But I think what else is interesting as I was going through this whole study is I saw just how many coins we lose each year and where we lose them. I think answering those questions is also very important as far as this video is concerned. So, there are two reports I found, and it was very interesting because they both kind of backed each other up and in a funny sort of way kind of contradicted each other all at the same time. And you'll see what I mean here. And the first report was put out by the government, and the government says that we lose $62 million worth of pennies every year. $62 million worth of pennies. Now, because that's pennies, you take 62 million times 100, that's 6 billion pennies every year are lost according to the government. Now, I don't know what their definition of lost is. I don't know if they mean it's lost, as in we're never going to see them again, or if they just mean it was taken out of circulation. I tend to believe they mean it's out of circulation. They're not coming right back into circulation. So 6 billion pennies a year. Now, if you remember when I showed you on the computer screen that the mints are producing about 7 billion a year. So that means the vast majority of pennies every single year just come right out of circulation. And that's really a crime because it costs almost as much to make a penny as a penny is worth. They actually lose money printing pennies. But that's a whole other story, different point. So that's a whole lot of pennies coming out of circulation going to who knows where. So report number 2, a spokesman from a company called Covanta, and that's a waste management company. So they were talking with CBS News a couple years ago, and they estimated $62 million again, but this time they're talking of total change. They figure out $62 million worth of change gets thrown away each year. So it just goes out with the garbage somehow. It's mostly by accident, I'm sure, but nevertheless, you throw in a receipt. I know I've done it. Threw in the receipt and there was change in my hand too, and it went in. Sometimes I dig it out. I don't do it too often, thank goodness. But anyway, it has happened. So their company, they did a study, and they figure out they pull out about 25 cents per ton of waste that they work. And what that means is they pull all the metal out of the waste, and then they do what they do with the rest of it. But as they pull the metal out, and they find out that they're pulling out all this excess change. So it's to the tune of about $62 million a year. Now that's of total change, whereas the government was $62 million in just pennies alone. Being that there's other ways that we lose it, other ways that it comes out of circulation, I believe both reports, like I said, probably prove each other and are both correct. We as a society are extremely bad at taking care of our change, and we lose it in amazing amounts, absolutely amazing amounts. found another report. In 2014, TSA reported that they collected a whopping $675,000 in loose change. $675,000 in loose change in 1 year from the TSA. I know a guy, he takes care of one of those self-service car washing places, you know, the ones with vacuums and all of that. There's a little part-time gig that he does. And this guy, he finds several dollars worth of change every week just going and taking care of that place. People leave quarters laid on the ledge because they think they're going to need more for the vacuum or for the car washing itself, machines or whatever. Several dollars a week he finds in extra change just left behind. I myself, I go metal detecting, and if you guys want a video on that, let me know in the comments below, and we'll do one someday on metal detecting. But anyway, I've done this for several years, and on the average, I average $1, maybe a little bit more than $1 per hour in loose coins while I'm metal detecting. On the average per given season, and season for me is usually like about May through around September or something like that, sometimes October. So I'll find anywhere between about $50 and $70 a year in change. Now I don't know how many detectorists there are in the country, but I know it's thousands. I know it's thousands. Over 1 million metal detecting machines have been sold over the last few years. Some place the estimate that there's 1 million of us who go metal detecting, which is a lot of people. I have no idea if that's right or not. I just know there's a lot of us. I'm here in a little town, and like I said, I pull $50 to $70 a year of change out of the parks and some of the schoolyards and that. And you multiply that by thousands, and you can just figure out the amount of coins that's being dropped and lost every year. So what do I do with those coins, and what should you be doing with those coins that you have laying around your house? The money sitting around the house or in your car, or this is the money that I just pulled out of my car, just so you can see. And there's about $1 worth, and there's almost always about $1 worth in there, because I use it when I stop and get coffee or stop to get something, and I try to use exact change. And when I'm getting low, then I take change instead. So, but that money's sitting around, and like I said, it's a lot. Most people have more than they think laying around. But it's not doing you any good just sitting there in that jar or in a pile or wherever you have it. And so you have 3 choices of what you can do with that money. Number 1, you can start using the change as was intended. When you go to the grocery store, the convenience store, you know, and your bill is $3.79. Give them $3.79. Get those coins back into circulation. That will help the situation. Even if it's just a little bit at a time, if everybody's doing it, it will greatly improve the situation very quickly. Number 2, take it to a bank that has one of those coin sorting machines. Now, not all banks have the coin sorting machines, so you might want to call first before you drive down, but find one. That's what I do with mine. Now, my bank has 2 branches in town. One of the branches has the coin sorting machine, the other one doesn't. I remember in the old days when all the banks had them, and they would do it for you. Now you have to go to the right bank. Mine doesn't charge anything so long as I have an account there, which I do. And so I take it to the right bank, which is not the branch that I normally use, but it's not that far away, so I go and I take the coins to that bank. And then what do I do with it? Like, I just did this a couple of weeks ago. I took in about 1.5 years worth of coins there. From what I found in some other coins that I picked up along the way. I cashed in for about $115 worth of coins, and so then after I got my $115, turned right around, went down to the coin shop and bought myself a bunch of silver. If you want to know why I bought silver, go watch the video that we just did on silver. It's still up there and running, and the contest is still running for a couple more days, so you might want to go see that one. So that's the other way to turn your coins back in so that they get back into circulation and you get something for your coins. I mean, you don't want to go to a restaurant and give them $30 worth of change. Go do that at the bank first, then take your $30 and take your spouse out for a nice meal. You know, or go buy something nice or some flowers, or invest it, put it in a kids or grandkids savings fund. Do something with it besides let it around and gather dust. And then the third one is you could take it to one of those change machines. You usually find them in grocery stores. Now, the one that I know of, there's probably others. I don't know the other names, but I do know Coinstar, and we're going to show you one of those right now.
This is one of the Coinstar machines. As you can see, throw your coins in there, get money out there, but there's lots of ways to change your coins to something else. As you can see, they say you can get cash, you can choose a gift card, you can donate to charity. If turn the coins thrifty cash, if you go for a gift card, there's absolutely no fee. And you can always send it to charity. They don't say if there's a fee for that or not. If you come back over here and you hit get cash, you will see their fee is, coin counting fee is 10 cents plus 12.5% of the total value of the coins counted. So as you can see, that's quite expensive actually. If you threw in $100 worth of coins, they're going to get about $12, $13 is what they're going to keep on that. So that's quite an expensive way for changing in your coins. It'd be much more efficient to just take them to a bank and let one of the bank machines count it up and they give you money.
So there you have it. There's some of the coins. I've done my share. I turned in my $115 worth of coins just a couple weeks ago. Now it's time for you to go and do something with your coins. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not seen the one on silver yet, I'm putting it up here in, well, somewhere here on the frame so that you can click on it and go right to the video that we did on silver. Other than that, please subscribe if you like the channel and you want to learn more about other financial issues. Like it and share it, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.